Man, what a ride this past few weeks has been. Actually, probably the past few years has been. But anyway, I'm on the last 2.5 hours left to drive home. Got a hotel room last night. Holy shit, that warm, hot water in the tub felt good in the soap. Shaved my face off. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't, but I was sitting there in camp farting around with that picture yesterday and edited up and put it on that community spot on the YouTube channel. And that was one hell of a day. Yesterday or the day before, I don't know what happened. We took my quad up a remote seismic cut line in northern British Columbia. Up over this mountain down to the bottom of the swamp. You get stuck a few times in the muck and got to winch your way out. And then all the way up over the top of the next one and down to the bottom of the other one and found grizzly hell. Grizzlies all over the place. A few moose and more or less out looking around discovering. And we just got it back to the top of the first hill and the quad went straight flatline. And we're doubling on it. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Because you're already exhausted, right? And you're getting ready to go home and you're like, are you kidding me? We actually gotta go hiking out of here. And I was thinking, you know what, screw the quad. I'm gonna leave it here, I'll buy another one. It was just too far, too much. I've had a long time anyway, but oh, it really sucked. Just sucked the life out of it we had left. And we hiked all the way out. And then I had the old battery to the quad in the box of the truck. I replaced the battery before we left, luckily. And I kept meaning to throw it out when we got to the appropriate places, and I kept forgetting to. So I put it on charge and the jumper cables on my diesel and we had something to eat. And then I splashed the jumper cables together to see if it was holding some spark and had a good flash. I'm like, maybe this will do it. So I had this great big multi-tool toolbox and I stuffed that in the backpack and the battery, and we went back up to the trailhead and we hiked all the way back into the damn thing. All right, so here's the deal. We took this cut line. These cut lines are in northern British Columbia, all over the place. They go in the middle of nowhere through swamps and crap, and we went way the hell up there, doubled my quad, and the quad bit it. No electricity, no nothing, no tools to fix it, and it really sucked butt, and it's way the hell down there. And we're gonna go hike in with the spare battery that I had. We had to hike out, spare battery tools, and see if we can get it going. This really sucks. So much fun. So much fun. Isn't it great?
Like a hole in my head.
If this doesn't work, this quad is staying here. I don't care. I'm buying another one. Almost there. If this doesn't work, this thing's gonna stay here. I'll buy another one. It's old though. I think it's like a 2002. It doesn't owe me anything. Here we go. We put the battery in, and all the power shut off, and I hooked everything up, and it's just like blasting a spark. Something's shorting out like crazy. I'm like, oh my God, you're kidding. It's something crazy. And I just couldn't figure it out. And then there was one wire that just didn't look like it would belong. The end of it that bolts on the battery was too big, like it went to a regular truck battery. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I lent my quad earlier, and the person I lent it to did some work on the winch. And I'm like, shit, I think the winch is shorting. So I pulled that cable out, hooked it up, and it pull started it. I'm like, oh my God, yes. And I thought it was the starter in the quad. Oh, it was the starter shorting out, thank God. Disconnected the starter cable and it started. Oh, happy, Kevin?
Very happy.
Let's hope this runs. So we got it going and pinned it and got out of there. There's a few spots where we got stuck and had to use the winch to get through these swamps, and I knew exactly where I'd probably get stuck, and I just hammered on it and blasted through there and held on like it was a rodeo and got the quad back. Started driving home. And I had an injector replaced in the diesel up north, and I think they screwed up my valve cover gasket because I just noticed coming home, halfway home, oil is barfing out of the truck. I'm like, shit. Meanwhile, I got all that moose meat in the box of the truck, and I don't need to be held up somewhere in some town getting the truck fixed and that meat going bad, right? So I've been feeding it oil, and then I missed, unfortunately, there was a a fatal accident in Quesnel, missed that by seconds. Somebody died. It's real shitty. And also, thoughts go out to the families of the person, the deceased. That was real shitty to see. Imagine that, eh? Early 10:30 Saturday morning, your wife or husband's on the way to the store, and that's it. You don't see him again. So you want to think about that. And then, what else? There's a great big bear that I've noticed on the side of the highway before Prince George. And this wind might be blasting the microphone, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. I gotta get going. There's this bear I've been noticing for a few years, and I was intentionally looking for him up in the back of this hayfield I've seen over the past few years, and he wasn't there. And then all of a sudden I saw something big on the highway on the right. Thought it was a dead moose, and it was the old bear. I'm like, oh shit, you got hit. That kind of sucked. I pulled over and checked it out. And seeing black bears at nighttime on a highway when you headlights is very, very difficult. I played slalom with them coming back from up north a few times overnight driving. But throw in a storm like there was last night and drive, bear doesn't have a chance in the highway. I can't believe that old bear wasn't wise enough to avoid that highway last night. He wasn't in the rut. It's the wrong time of year. In the rut they get silly like moose and deer, but that was unfortunate to see. And that's about it. But lots has happened this year. Lots happened on this last hunt. We were successful. We got enough meat for everybody. That was good. What else? You know, it's handy. You know, the oil field, the oil exploration, oil and gas. They've brought cell towers to the most remote places up north. It's silly. It's crazy to have service up there. And that last video I loaded, just sharing what we were seeing while we were hunting. You know, I forget, a few minute video, and it took 2 days for it to load up onto YouTube. This left the cell phone in camp, but it did it. So what the hell, right? I mean, another unfortunate thing about that is, well, not really unfortunate, just is what it is. You'll be sitting there, you're tired, exhausted, all of a sudden you get the notifications come up on the front of the phone. I looked up and saw this nasty comment, somebody announcing their departure from the channel because I shared tree breaks. And I guess they were disgruntled because I hammer or insult people that focus on tree breaks. And but just for the record, I don't give a shit about tree breaks, and I don't really give a shit about footprints either. But if I'm out there in the woods with my video camera and I know there's a pile you're interested in, and if I come across something, I'm going to videotape and share with you. Am I looking for those things intentionally? Never. I never intentionally go looking for Sasquatch or the signs of them. I don't. But you all have to understand, when you're basically a full-time hunter, I am looking for signs of all game, all day, non-stop. Tracks, rubs, droppings, sounds, you name it. You're on alert for all game at all times, 24/7. It just goes with the turf. It's part of your life. It's part of what you do, part of the job when you're working guiding. And once you've seen these beings, you are also on the lookout for signs and sounds of them as you go. You're not doing it because you're some kind of a researcher or you want to feed Sasquatch content to a Facebook page you develop for specifically for it or whatever. But that's all I'm doing. I'm sharing. You can take a look at what I share there right now. I found a big pack of wolves. I called them in. I videotaped them. I videotaped bears that came in stalking me when I was calling Elkin. I videotaped moose coming in. I videotaped everything. And I share it. I share it all. I promote it. I promote the real world and what goes on out there, and I promote outdoor knowledge. And if I'm going to come across something that's potentially quite odd, like this, the first week was right off the chart for not being odd, but just being is what it is, right? The tree getting blasted to death. My partner hearing it loud and clear is right by me. I'll make a video about that later, show you exactly what happened. And all the where something apparently absolutely blew a gasket and ripped all those trees apart. Came across it, didn't look for it, and I videotaped it because obviously there's a pile of you on this channel that would be interested in seeing that. As far as it goes, am I going to say what did it? Well, I can't say what did it. because I wasn't there when it happened, but I can 100% tell you what didn't do it. But anyways, other than that, just for any of you out there that may be a member of cancel culture, offended culture, outraged culture, I've made it very, very clear that you're not safe here. This isn't a safe place for you on this YouTube channel. You're just not safe here, okay? Nobody gives a shit about what you think. And nobody gives a shit if you agree with me or anyone else or not. It doesn't matter here. And if you don't agree with what I have to say or my view on something, I don't care. Am I going to try to cancel your ass or insult your ass because you don't agree with something, a view of mine? I don't really give a shit. Who cares? Whatever. But, yes, I am rambling a little bit right now, but I've been driving for like 14 hours or something, and I'm just taking a minute. But in reality, if you come to a YouTube channel like mine, where you've never been invited to, encouraged to like, subscribe, or share ever, and you come here, get pissed off, and all of a sudden announce your departure, it's like, well, all you're doing is you're blatantly showing the world that you are emotionally challenged to the max. There's probably something wrong with you and you have deep issues. Think about it. I just don't understand people, man. People are amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing world, isn't it? It's starting to piss rain. Sun is just cutting down behind the timber now. Where am I right now? I am about 40 minutes from Lillooet, British Columbia. And I'm about to hit the Duffy Lake Highway and go up and over the top and drop into home. And then from there, I got to hang up all this moose meat again, butcher it all up, get it packaged, get it put away, and start carrying on with my next projects. And the book number 2 is going to be, should be out before Christmas. That's the goal. There's a lot in there to share. What else? I have to get together Scott Carpenter and a few other people and hash out exactly what we're going to do with this information platform and how we're going to do it and what's going to be in it. And that, I got to hook up with the techies and see how far they've come along building that. I'm going to, I don't know, I'll see if I'll get hold of those PayPal douchebags and see what the score is there. I'm not overly stressed about it. And that's going to be a priority. So priority 1 and 2 is going to be that platform. Book 2. For all you blacktail enthusiasts, yes, my monster buck Zeus is alive. He's alive, and his drop time that he had that year before last, it's migrated up the back of his main beam, and it's sticking out here about 7 inches, and he looks pretty impressive. He's still the same size. So that's game on. So that means I'm going to be a skinny wreck of a human being by the end of November, because once I get going, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to be running up that mountain in the dark every single day solo and getting that done. And what else? There is so many emails that have come in. It's absolutely ridiculous. They have to be shared. There's a lot of you out there who this has helped immensely. And it just needs to be done. I'm going to try to do catch up. I think usually there is something like a video of email shared every 4 days or something. But just try to get caught up and try to get as much help out there to as many of you as we can. I'll try to double it up once I get back for a day and I can get the camera and shit set up. I'm going to try to, I'll see if I can share an email or 2 every 2 days for the next month and get them in there. And just do it and get caught up and help these people. Because another thing too, I got a lot to share and a lot to tell, and I have a lot of different angles to offer up all you to look at things. All right, I never dictate to anyone how you should or should not think or view somebody. I offer up exactly my thoughts. I don't hold back. I pull the trigger when I think somebody's a douchebag. I pull the trigger and let them know it. I got no problem doing it. And all I'm doing is I'm offering up all of you a different angle to come in and look at a topic. And it's entirely up to you to do with it as you will. Take from it as you will. That's what I've been saying consistently. All right? So, what am I trying to get at? When you see me getting passionate, potentially angry about various people and what they've been doing on the Sasquatch topic, you're not reading these hundreds of emails. None of you are reading these emails. All right? You're not reading the emails that people don't want me to share publicly. You're not reading the thousands. I don't know if I've read thousands yet. I've probably read 1,000 for sure. I've easily read hundreds and hundreds of them. And you are not reading the words from these people who are just like me, just as passionate as me about the outdoors, or have a rural home and family, children. And you're not reading the words from these people. All right? You're not reading about how their lives are absolutely turned upside down. They are absolutely engulfed in anxiety, nowhere to go, nowhere to turn. And they're confiding in me. And they're seeking out help through me. And I got no problem doing that, obviously. And when you're reading the words of all these people, and then you see people like the group of absolute morons who produce Bigfoot television shows, and the cast members who auditioned for every single one of those positions. Take note of that. They auditioned to be on those shows. That means it doesn't make them experts. It doesn't make them anything on this topic. But what I would like you to sit back, jump out of the bubble, and take a look in at is, imagine being one of these very intelligent, hardworking, honest people who have a very upsetting experience, either hunting, fishing, camping, or on the rural property. And all they have to look to for support is those cheese bag, absolute embarrassing Bigfoot TV shows or the people in them. Could you imagine that? Just shakes my head. The damage those people have done more than good for this topic is ridiculous. And not one of them gives a shit about these people whose lives have been turned upside down. And how can I say that with confidence? Have you ever heard them mention how upset they are about that? Probably not. But anyway, yeah, I'm rambling. What else am I going to do? I've been sitting in my truck for 14 hours by myself driving. But anyway, that is a quick, short video for all of you for now. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw in an email right now if I can. Why not? Let's see what we got while I'm here. And I'll get one out. All right, here's a short one right here. And I'm going to read this one just to utilize some of this time right now. I'm going to get out of here, all right? Now listen to this. Hi, Steve. I watch your channel regularly and met you once before. That don't matter. I was out deer hunting in October up the Coquihalla in an area staying at a cabin. What happened to me made me nervous. I have been feet from bears in the past, under-treed cougars, and even stalked by a grizzly. That didn't bother me. What happened in October made my hair stand up on end. You talk about your sixth sense, well, it helped me. I was at our camp alone. Didn't see any game that day. Well, I seen a rabbit and took a shot at it for some supper. Well, I missed. LOL. What happened next put chills in my back. I shot, didn't hit it all, and didn't hit it. All of a sudden, bang. The loudest bang in the cabin, my hair stood up. Once again, I was alone. My group was nowhere near me as we went hunting separately. I had a feeling I was being watched. No one was near me, no traffic, nothing. I grabbed my rifle, a light, and stood. I grabbed my rifle and a light and stood still. I then heard the rocks on a river make the sound that a human makes walking on rocks. I walked to the cabin and looked, and yes, I was alone. I still heard walking on the rocks. I got into my truck then and drove out to the road and the direction my buddy should be. Let's just say cougars, bears don't bother me. What I felt after that bang was I felt I was being watched in my mind. My rifle was a security blanket. My gut told me to stay calm and saying to myself subconsciously, I'm not here to harm you. P.S. I apologize about any spelling errors. Nick, you ought to try being in the cabin when it's getting slapped like that. It sucks ass. And that happened to me. And you're not alone. And don't let it bother you. Obviously, if that being wanted to have your ass, you wouldn't have heard the cabin being slapped. You probably wouldn't have heard anything, all right? It's probably just making some kind of a statement to you. It's pissed off, and it is what it is. It's an experience for you. You know exactly what you heard. I'm pretty confident I know what you heard too. And don't feel all insecure and embarrassed about it, all right? It's happening to literally hundreds of people out there. And if any of you out there as well need to get your story out to me, to share with the world, again, share my story at howtohunt.com or tell my story at howtohunt.com, and I'll get to it, okay? But anyway, there you go. It's pouring now. I gotta go. Be safe, and I'll talk to you all shortly with much, much more to share.